Welcome everyone to Every Woman Empowered's Chit Chat. And I am your host, Shauna J. Cerniak, the founder of Every Woman Empowered. And alongside are my co-hosts,
Jani Galarno, international artist and resident artist for Every Woman Empowered.
Neela Janu, certified laughter yoga instructor, founder of Let's Laugh Yeg, and happiness ambassador for Every Woman Empowered.
And I'm very excited to have on today's show the wonderful Tamara Goddard, the CEO of For Our Future. Welcome, Tamara. Oh, so wonderful to have you. We're very, very excited. You have a phenomenal company that has had an excellent 2020 when so many other companies were struggling. Your company has even gone beyond what they even could imagine. Could you share with us about For Our Future and what it's all about?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to thank you for allowing me on, inviting me to be on your show. And I want to acknowledge that I'm on the Squamish and Coquitlam First Nations territories out here in beautiful Burnaby, as well as the Musqueam First Nation. So I want to add that. Looking back at For Our Future, I think it's been, for many years, I've been researching industry, and I think a lot of my work has had to do with law. It's had to do with what we've won in the past. And in my early 20s, I began, I think one of my first projects, I had a skill for listening and writing. And so I actually began working with the leaders because I could listen and write. And they threw me into a negotiation between the West Coast Trail and 3 nations there. So that was the beginning. I spent 20 years actually looking into Indigenous economy, trying to understand it, working with the elders, and then matching that with education. So in terms of what's happening today in our economy, it was something that many of my colleagues and I saw coming for a few years. And so what happened with all of the pipelines and the protests and everything that was going on is what we saw was we're missing the mark here. We're missing the mark because what the economy is asking for is restoration. What the economy is asking for is green technology. What we're asking for is for a future. And so what started happening was that Canadians and everybody else started sounding like a lot of First Nations people. So we formed For Our Future just the year before COVID hit. And our priorities are food security, power security, water security, and housing security. Those are the land aspects, and the people aspects, of course, are our culture, our education, and our local marketplaces, which is local economy interacting with industry. So with our 20 years of experience, what we did was bring together 4 different companies and several partnerships. And we spent about a year getting ready. And just as we were launching, COVID hit. And our team went to work during COVID, and I think this is Indigenous values, but what we essentially did was, what are we going to do? We saw our communities falling. We saw our communities not having access to food. Our Indigenous businesses and tourism and arts just started tanking. And my whole team picked up our pens. We didn't even worry about charging dollars at this point, but we wound up working away for the entire 6 months during the COVID to keep other people in food and in business and families and homes. And about 6 months after we began writing for our clients for free, just sort of pay when you can, pay what you can, we had raised $1.8 million for our clients. And so that was very exciting. And then what happened further to that is our research sort of came about, and we began getting contacted for national contracts. And so I think, it was an act of faith. The whole thing feels like an act of faith. The whole thing feels like, the elders would always tell me, just do your part. You'll know what to do if you know to do your part. Don't worry about the outcome.
Right. Just
whatever skills you bring to the table, you bring those forward and you do your part. And Chief Gibby Jacob, of course, is a shareholder at For Our Future, and one of my largest mentors. And so I think he's really held our team together and held that vision for us and brought us to the table on a national level.
Wow. That's incredible. Like what you are doing, and here, comes 2020, and there's some struggles, but yet you were able to raise that 1.8 million for your clients, and then look at the flow of what has happened from it, how many lives have been touched because of it, and how your business has succeeded. And it's when you put it in the hands of the creator, it's amazing what happens. And when you have the kind of mentorship that you have, and the wisdom that's behind it, it's such a beautiful guide to the right steps into the right direction. So congratulations on that. That's huge.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So Tamara, like, what was the original spark to bring your project For Our Future? What was that one little catalyst that just kind of sprung you forward?
The catalyst, actually, probably the catalyst was when Chief Gibby Jacob retired from Squamish Nation. He's one of the most successful nations across Canada. And much of our modeling was brought together because Squamish Nation is a powerhouse, and they're worth multiple billions of dollars under Chief Gibby's leadership over many, many years. And so when we got to work, our entire team has worked with Chief Gibby Jacobs over the years in various capacities. When he retired, our whole team stepped down with him because he wanted to look at green tech. He wanted to look at clean water. He wanted to bring the success that they'd had at the nation to the world and to the rest of Canada, and to share what had been done and what could be done. And of course, working for him, we got to really experiment with our 4 pillars model at the time, which was four pillars of people. And since he retired, we added the 4 pillars of lands, and we brought together about 80 years of negotiations to the table.
Wow.
Yeah, and began to put in vertical greenhouse systems as one of our partners, food security systems, power systems, and then our core services, which is simply Indigenous economic development, which is a model that includes 7 generations ahead and 7 generations back.
Love it. I love it.
And that's incredible. And I think for you guys just starting just before COVID, and then actually earning the Sage Small Business Award on top of all of that, that just goes to show just how needed your services are. So what is something your organization is needing right now to reach that next level? Like, how do we get For Our Future in front of as many people as possible across the country? I know you said you're starting to get some national contracts, but do you see chapters opening up across the country? What does the future of For Our Future kind of look like?
Our future is scaling. So we need to expand. In the first year, it was startup. Since COVID, and with our clients, something that we work on is getting our clients, but also getting us what's investment ready. And investment ready is being ready to take on various types of investment, and also having scalable models. So I think that we are literally about 6 weeks away from being scalable. And the areas that we're looking at is technology. So one of them is simply vertical greenhouse systems and agricultural systems. Our models work really well because they work with Indigenous title and rights. So all industry, like Northeastern BC has $80 billion of development in the next 20 years. So when you're a nation and you're working within that supply chain under the areas that are protecting your lands and your peoples and local markets, including local businesses, all of a sudden you're supplying food, healthy food, organic food, locally produced food, or locally produced panels, or locally made power to an $80 billion development area. And that's very, very powerful. So we've proven our models, and we will be looking for proper investment.
Incredible. I just,
Wow.
I can only wish more success and a strong future for your business, because I really truly feel that that's the way we all need to go, and really capitalize on looking, revamping and relooking at how we live our everyday lives. And you are showing us some models that can be so easily achieved. yet so many are not going towards that direction. And I really hope that through us promoting your company, as well as getting the word out there, that there'll be much success for our futures for sure.
Yeah, and it's just been, you know, shows like this and learning to get out and speak. You know, it's most of my career has been in boardrooms, and I've been the one that sits there with the binders, sitting beside the negotiators. So it's new for me to take this kind of leadership role, whereby Chief Gibby is now the president and I am now the CEO. So it's been a huge learning curve for me to take that leadership role. Yeah.
Yes.
So kind of going along that flow that you're talking about, what has been, what's the biggest thing that you have had to overcome, maybe public speaking more, to where you want to go?
Yeah, leadership has been one of the biggest things. And a lot of that leadership is being an Indigenous woman and just being a woman. And over the past 30 years of my life, I've usually been one of the few women, if not the only woman, at many of these negotiations and corporate business negotiation tables. So I've overcome, and I like other women to know this. I was a single mother. I overcame some serious health issues. I had to hold the attitude that failure was not an option. So previous to this, I had my own research and development company. I did that so I could be at home with my kids and hire a nanny and do these things. But I really came from no wealth at all. I literally came from, I'm playing my guitar on the street to feed my friends. And then we collectively put ourselves through college and then university. So as a single mother, I did my MBA and I ran my company and I raised my kids, and now they're raised, and now they're, well, both of them do various work for us. So
It's amazing.
Yeah, so there's been many
wonderful
challenges, and the one thing I could say, yes, there's been challenges to get here, but that doesn't mean every woman should do this, because I really missed out myself as a single mother on being there for my kids, and there's repercussions to taking the route that I did. So I'm not touting that that's the right way for every woman. I think that any woman that has the time to raise her kids and put in the community and be there at the school, like those women are blessings to their children, to their family, and to the community. I had to sacrifice a lot. And I had to do some cleanup with my own children because of the time spent providing for them and creating a future for us.
Yeah, and we forget that, don't we? Like that it just doesn't come easy. There's all these struggles behind it. Everybody sees where you are today, but they don't see the journey of what it took for you to get here, and the sacrifices, like you said, you made, the sacrifices your children made, and going forward, we really have to really give kudos and acknowledgement for the journey aspect. So many times we concentrate on where people are, but it's the journey part that is the really amazing portion of our lives, because it really shows the growth and the strength that you endured through it all. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you.
It's very empowering.
Very.
Yeah, every woman empowered. It's all about that journey of growth. And looking at your story and where you are today, I would say you're a success. What does success mean to you? What does it look like to you? How do you define it? Because it is such a abstract thing.
Thank you, and that's such a great question, because success is peace. Because it doesn't matter if you're a fabulous mother and you're holding up the whole school because you're the one who can show up. Success is peace, and success is, first of all, yourself. Because the healthier you are, the healthier your family will be. And the healthier your family is, then the more that you can actually put back into the community and live your visions. For me, economics and my art and my math, these are my visions. It's actually what I'm compelled to do. And I never wanted to put that down. For me, I made the choice to want to demonstrate for my children that if you have a passion, you go for it. You just go for it. That's what I can show you. That's when I can mentor for you. And so that was simply my life path, but peace, clarity, passion. That's success. Whatever else comes from that, comes from that.
I love that. I love that.
Love. So I understand where you're living, there's some snow and you don't normally get snow there. So how have you been taking all that in?
Well, I've been pretty excited because, you know, I went and traded my vehicle in and got, because they said there would be snow this year and we're in Vancouver. So I got super excited and I went and bought a little SUV to keep my, you know, for the family, for my sons and I. And then it's actually hardly snowed. It's definitely not worthy of an SUV. But apparently, if I leave the city just a little bit, they're having pileups. So I'm not that skilled to be driving on the highway with the conditions. But it's beautiful because where I am up here, I'm on the 24th floor, and the view is absolutely stunning from here with the snow. So
no kidding. No kidding. The 24th floor. Yeah, you would have an amazing view for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, Vancouver is actually very beautiful in the winter.
Yes, and it's very dear to Janny and myself. We're big, huge Vancouver fans. So, yeah.
I grew up on the island, so they've been getting lots of snow too.
Yes, it's everywhere. Fortunately, we're not out driving that much in it because Vancouverites, for some reason, can't.
Nope.
Drive in the snow.
They can't cope.
No, there's still all these sports cars going around and stuck in the ditch. It's really unsafe.
It's very true. Very true. Oh, is it my turn already?
It's your turn already, Jenny.
Oh my gracious. So my question is, what's your spirit animal?
Oh, that is a wonderful question. I don't have just one, but, you know, and these are teachings. So, you know, I come from a community that are dreamers. And one of the things that I do is dream. And so actually all of my paintings are my dreams. I dream and I see them. So pertaining to the lines that I just showed you in my last piece of art, one of my spirit animals is a spider. So grandmother spider. Oh. And it's the weaving, it's the web. So oftentimes what I see is the web that interconnects many things that want to happen, and the lessons from that are immense. So we've got that, and then crow is my other spirit animal. There's a few others that I dream about, including the eagle, and I've dreamed of the orca, but sometimes the spirit animals are passing and they have messages for somebody else. The ones that have stuck with me for all time are the medicines of the spider, grandmother spider, and the lessons of the crow and raven.
Now, I have to say, that's the first time I've ever heard someone have a spider for their animal, their spirit animal. I think that is so unique. And, you know, so many times you hear the standard, the eagle, the bear, and I love that you said that it's about the weaving, the intricacy of the spider. We forget how intricate the spider can be, and we really see that even in your life. What you are doing, it shows. Your spirit animal shows with all that you, through your art, through your work with For Our Future. And I just really want to take this time to thank you, from one Indigenous woman to another, for being on our show today and for sharing what I think can be a beautiful future for all of Canada and the nations around us to go the direction that your company is presenting. So thank you, Tamara, for being on Chit Chat today. Is there a way that people can reach you to hear more information about For Our Futures if they wish to learn more on it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so the For Our Futures, FOUR, referring to 4 aspects of land wellness and 4 aspects of people wellness. So it's FOUR. So For Our Future, we have our website, and a lot of our projects are fairly confidential, but we'll be making a lot of announcements this year because now we can. And so, yeah, so our blog will be going, and, you know, we're also on LinkedIn. And yes, please keep an eye on our website and on our LinkedIn and wherever else we'll be publishing stories to let people know we're advocating lots right now, because I really truly believe that Canada's green future is everybody's future.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. We truly appreciate it. We wish only the best for you in 2021 and for your future. Have a beautiful one and take care, Tamara.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tamara.
Thank
You're
you.
awesome. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.